we gotta talk about the red pill pimps versus these blue pill pimps. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got the guys that's making deals with these females without even knowing they making deals with these females that's trying to be in the lifestyle. And then you got these dudes that's mad at all the females because of experience they had with a female that went wrong, or because they ain't catching nothing, and it's all these females that's in the game's fault. But we about to break all of this down right here with Game from the Grassroots.
Taking the convo to high levels. Comment, like, and subscribe if you're enjoying Durable Minds Radio.
Like I always say, I'm just somebody who's, speaking my point of view of what I see. I ain't trying to rub nobody the wrong way, but I am true to this game. And when I see people in the game doing things that, get my mind rolling, I like to document it and speak on it. So this is what we speaking on. And what I'm seeing is a lot of these dudes are merging the square life into the game, right? And they're not letting these females really get the real true essence of how this lifestyle really goes. They're not trying to separate it, they're trying to merge it. And that's what I'm seeing. So that's why I still put the pimp title when I give these guys the red pill pimps and the blue pill pimps the title. I give them the pimp title because I think they have good intentions for the game. I just think because of, social media and whatever the case may be, that they drift away from standing on the principles of the game, and they try to compromise and merge square conversations and ways the square world is into the lifestyle to try to get the girl involved with the lifestyle. And that brings me to the blue pill pimps, because the blue pill pimps, they lean into that very, very heavy. That's their go-to all the time, it's starting to seem like. And I don't know if they're purposely doing it, if they're intentionally doing it, if that's just they catch hand to get the broad to like them, or they really mean what they saying and they're compromising their game or compromising their principles of the lifestyle as being a pimp to try to have a female fuck with them. Now I get it. It's such thing as campaigning, and you wanting to say slick shit to the female to let the female know, hey man, come fuck with me, yada yada yada. But to do it on a regular basis every day, and then to push it out there like that's the thing you need to be doing, like on social medias when they post these posts, that's what they're doing. Which brings us to the little first post that I think this post is a blue pill pimp. Invest in your 304. That's how you get a bigger bag. Now, I would think the pimp man should know that already, right? I would think that's given, right? Now, we ask ourselves, what's the point of posting this already if pimps know that already, right? I think these blue pill pimps think to post stuff like this because that's their way of campaigning. They want to get the female to be like, oh, yeah, he's right, and this and that. When reality is, we want these females to know the real of the game, right? We want them to know the sacrifices they have to take with dealing with a pimp to be a part of this lifestyle. Not the given part that's understanding the spoiling part. The pimp man doesn't want to lead with the spoiling part. He wants to lead with the real, right? Because leaning into the real in the beginning, you know what you're dealing with, right? You're going to know the type of female you're dealing with. She's taking the lifestyle seriously, meaning she's taking you being a pimp man seriously, not what you're going to do for her seriously. She's taking that she's choosing you because of you being a pimp man seriously. What does this post say on the bottom? I blew a good trap on a bee because I know it's finna come back. How you know, pimping? How you know it's finna come back? How do you know? Now, I'm not saying that the bitch is gonna just blow, but everything is situational in this game. Things happen that we don't have no control over with being in this lifestyle. So how do you really know? This is what you call slick talk. This is what they'll post this for likes and things like that, but they're really not teaching the females that's looking at these posts the real of the game. Then the post says, get you some folks who don't trip off bossing the bee up too. Right. Like, they're leading with, these females have to choose a pimp based on them being bossed up, right? Instead of based on which pimp is taking this game seriously, because that's with the one that takes it seriously, for sure you're going to get bossed up, right? So I need to figure out how I can adjust to this pimp, man, so I can get bossed up, right? You have to, when you choose to be in this lifestyle, maintain the pressure on the female, because with the pressure on the female, that lets you know she takes this lifestyle seriously. This post ends by saying, some of y'all got folks that's elevated and you not. So you don't know her folks' situation before she chose him, right? He could have, managed his money well with his ex game or the games that's with him and all that to where he's good. Now this new bride, she got to come prove herself. You know what I mean? She has to go put in the work to boss herself up. That's part of the game. You can't put the pressure on the pimping that been pimping and now this new girl come in and now the pressure's on the pimping. No, the pressure's on that female to adjust to this pimp, man, to be able to boss up. But notice in the real post, it's talking about invest in the 304 that's how you get a bigger about that. He's talking to the pimping. But when he writes right here on the below, he's talking to the female. That lets you know that his post is really campaigning to the female by trying to throw the pimp man under the bus. I don't know. Is that dirty macking? I don't know. If y'all fuck with me, let me know y'all thoughts on this motherfucker. But that's a sense of dirty macking, is it not? And when these blue pill pimps get, caught up in thinking that's the right way to approach these females, you will get posts like these. Here's another one from, I think, is a blue pill pimp. And this one says, let's get rich and live life. I guess let's get rich together and live life. And within reading that, I instantly think of like Bonnie and Clyde, like he's the hustler and she's down with his hustle type stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's obvious that this post is for the females, right? And it's obvious that he's trying to, campaign at females, letting them know, hey, I just want us to get rich together and ride out into the sunset. A female's fantasy in life. He's trying to emulate that female fantasy in life. Like, I just want to get rich and live life together like every female wants, right? The easy way out. Instead of letting this female know that, hell, it's going to take some, sacrifices and some dedication and some hard times and understanding new things and living differently and accomplish living life how we want to live it. But when these blue pill pimps do this thing, they get real comfortable and they start becoming friends with females that they don't even know if take the lifestyle seriously. Which leads me to my next post, which I think is another blue pill pimp. This time, the blue pill pimp posts, I believe on his story, what's going on in his DMs. And obviously what's going on in his DMs is he basically over here, conversing with females about their situation, and we don't even know if this female takes the lifestyle seriously. So he posts, I guess early on his story, yo folks smoke skimp blunts. Like, come on, bro. Like, really, like, what does pimping smoke? If he's smoking a big blunt, a little blunt, what does that matter? Why is this post trying to convince the females that they need to be choosing pimps based off the type of blunt they roll? Like, are you serious? Is this the lifestyle right now? But anyways, so he posts that, and I guess a female will be like, he don't, but he do, but I don't. So pimping roast skims, but she don't. And it's a funny moment. So she roasting her folks to another supposedly blue pill pimp on the internet, and he's a cool with that. Bruh say, he do, I'm weak. Pee smoking all paper. Like, come on, man. Does you not realize if you really pimping how bad you making the game look by doing this shit? And I get it. They'll post it on their shit because they want to get attention and all that, but they is throwing the females that are young adult females in this game, the 22s, the 23s, they throwing them off. Because these females thinking they supposed to be choosing Pimp off how he rolls blunts. And then Pimping is going to laugh with me when I talk about my folks. So they all confused. So why would you think a female takes this lifestyle seriously when this is acceptable by the pimping? Then he ends it, or then the post ends it. Damn, P, the bitch smoke better than you. It's like, come on, man. This is ridiculous. I don't understand what pimp man brain is thinking like this. This is why they're blue pill pimps. They really are trying to merge that square world. Oh, I want to be the bitch's friend, even though she ain't taking the lifestyle that we're both in seriously, but I'm gonna ha he he with her, and I'm gonna post it and thinking that I'm big time pimping because I'm exposing this girl, ho say no say, right P? Ho say no say, this female that's in my DM speaking on her folks situation. Come on, man. Come on, blue pill pimps. Y'all gotta tighten it up out there, man. The blue pill pimps gotta tighten it up. But I know that they got good intentions for the game, right? I can sense that. But they gotta start using their pimp brain better and understand, like, look, to make this game great again, you have to live it correctly. You have to do things the right way. And I can't be merging square characteristics that square guys do with females in this lifestyle. If I'm a pimp man, I have to understand I got to be more creative with my pimping, with my pimp brain on how I campaign at these females, because I understand the internet got the females and this and that and the third. Pimping got to stay sharpening his brain. He can't compromise and give in. No. You can't do that, blue pill pimps. Because when that's being done, you're messing up the psyche of the female that's interested in the game. You're making her look at too many avenues of the game when it's only really one way to live the game. That's why it's been around so long, because people stick to the structure of how it's supposed to be. And they preach that. That's why they live accordingly to the lifestyle. You can't get pressure to be like, damn, I'm not knocking nothing, or I want to get attention because the internet, I want girls to like my post, so I have to compromise and, say little things that's contrary to the pimp's brain just to get these females to think I'm some pimping. No, you gotta understand, being a pimp brain, you gotta make sure that female that's choosing this game, the right mindset, especially with the internet, especially with all the watered down 304s. Speaking on the watered down 304s, this is a perfect time to transition into the red pill pimps. Because the red pill pimps, they seem like they mad at every goddamn 304 out there. They seem like they mad at every female that is in the game. Like, I see these posts that they do, and it's so like bashing females, and it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. You want to point out what they're doing wrong in the game, but my thing is, why do you want to point it out in a hateful way? That's my thing with the red pill pimps. Like, yeah, I get it. They're mad because the girl don't get the game and doing it this way and she paying these money. I get it. They mad. But why not use your pimp brain and approach it in a different matter than being just mad? Why? Because I believe that's what females do, right? We leaning heavy on your emotions when you want to be bashful, when you want to talk down on females in the lifestyle, right? It's like that's a heavy emotion to where pimping don't lean on heavy emotions. That's what females do when they mad at the pimping. That's what squares do when they're mad at their girlfriends, right? That's what the square world of the red pill comes from. They mad at a girl that did them wrong, so now everybody's 304s out there. And you can't have that type of mindset being a pimp. You can't have that red pill mindset being a pimp. You can't just be like, oh, all the girls, why you doing this? And you stupid and you dumb and why you paying this dude? It's like, are you some pimping? Because you sound like, you complaining a lot. Like, get pimping and stop complaining. All right, let's break down what this red pill pimp that I think is a red pill pimp was just saying.
I'm so sick of these punk ass 304s, wannabe 304s, pretend ass 304s, right? You bitches, y'all like to talk on the phone and do all of that shit. When a motherfucker say, hey man, don't break yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Let a nigga know that you ain't bullshitting or just playing on the nigga phone, right? Bitch start acting weird than a bitch. I get to acting real weird, man. Hey, man, a trick pay a hoe, prostitute, and a hoe, prostitute, pay a pimp. I ain't no way around this shit, man. I ain't no other way around it. That's just the chain of command, man. Y'all little bitty bitches need to get y'all mind right.
It seems to me that he was popping out a female, or maybe the female reached out to him. And this red pill pimp, he probably thinking he got action, and it doesn't work out. When he start talking about the fee or whatever the case may be, the female ain't fucking with it. So what does pimping think to do after that? Does pimping think to run to the internet and complain about a situation that happened to him and think that all the other females out there that's in the game are doing that? Is that the way the pimp man thinks? No, that's the way these red pill pimps think, right? I see the good intention, right? I see it to where it's like, man, stop playing on my phone. I get it. But when you constantly run to the internet or run to your social media thinking that's what you gotta preach, instead of thinking like a pimp, your pimp brain thinking, okay, she ain't really taking the lifestyle seriously, so I'm gonna maneuver to the next one, and I'm gonna probably try a different approach, probably do this, whatever. Be in the pimp's brain. Don't jump in the square world and complain. Don't jump in the females area and get all emotional and jump to the internet and complaining about these, wannabe 304s. In my mind, that looks unpimpish, right? In my mind, I would think the female sees a red pill pimp doing that, and she thinks, oh, I can get under his skin easily, right? The female shouldn't think the pimping skin is easy to get under, ever. And these red pill pimps kind of show their hand with how they be trying to show like tough love or tell these little females how they need to be doing this or doing that correctly. Which leads me to my next post by a red pill pimp. Now this post, the red pill pimp, I guess he's speaking in the third person, but also to the females, and it reads, I wonder how 304s feel who be having negative ways and shit. So first off, he's talking to the females, right, in his thoughts. Okay, Pimpin', you trying to do a different approach than the video one, I guess. This red pill doing a different approach. He's just in his own thoughts, right? So then he says, like having OBS, disrespectful attitudes, no ambition or effort to be a good bee. Like, do they ever think to themselves like they are a problem? And it's like, Pimpin' knows when they dealing with these females, especially in today's world, that comes with it. So Pimpin' got to understand to have tools and arsenals in his brain to be able to utilize to break through that female. And one of the arsenals can't be emotions, right? It can't be running to the internet and heavy on your emotions, expressing your emotions in a female's form or in a square man's form. No, if you're going to express your emotions on how the game is going, you have to do it in a critical thinking, in a logical thinking way. Why? Because that's how pimps think. And I get it, man. The pimp is a human. They complain too, but the pimp brain is thinking to complain the same way as a female, right? Even, it sounds like a female. Like, it sounds like a female. If you just reverse the roles, a female will say that exact same stuff about a pimp. And it's just like, the red pill pimps do that a lot. They'll just say the same thing the females are saying about the pimps. The so-so 304s that's saying about the pimps. The red pill pimps will say the exact same thing. And that just be throwing, the pimp brain off. Like, what the fuck? Why are you sounding just like the female? We get what you're trying to say. We get it. That's why, you feel me? You got the, we get the good intentions, for sure. Pimping gets the good intentions, but it's just like, can't you get creative with it? The pimp brain is always doing something different, unique. And y'all, the red pill pimps their uniqueness is like, they just gonna say the same thing the females are saying. Like, what? I don't know, man. If I had to take something good out of the quote, I do like that, the red pill pimp thought to ask it in a question to, if a female of the lifestyle does see the quote, she can get her brain moving, right? She can start thinking, and her brain can start moving, hopefully, some way. I don't know if it's the right way, because the approach is kind of emotional, but at least the brain will move a little bit. This next post that I think is a red pill pimp kind of has that same approach, where he, categorizes the stars of the 304s, right? Now he's putting, these red pill pimps is putting them in categories, instead of, you just coming at whatever, because pimping can, talk to whoever approaches him. He can handle any situation as long as they take it seriously. He don't need to categorize them. It's just like, whatever, hell, on to the next one, right? But this post categorizes the 304s. So in this post, I guess we got the 5-star 304s, and then we got all the way down to the 1-star 304s, right? And in this post, the red pill pimp is, I guess, talking as the 304. So the 5-star 304, I've got my eyes on you. Maybe we will bump into each other soon. Now, a 5-star 304 is saying, I got my eyes on the pimping. Like, don't it look like, don't y'all just think about that and it seems like the roles are flipped? Like, wouldn't that be like the 5-star pimping got his eyes on the, you feel me? And hopefully we bump into each other. Hopefully, hey, 5-star 304, if you see the pimping, hopefully you gonna run into the pimping, right? But they're flipping it to where it's like, the 304 is the 5-star because she got her eyes, but she ain't running to the pimping instantly. And it's like, hell, if she ain't running to the pimping, that's her choice. But it's like, pimping don't need to categorize you and make you a 5-star, right? Then we got the 4-star 304 with the 5-star potential. So this one has potential. I love your energy and your vibes. I can see myself fucking with you. Okay. The 5-star and the 4-star seem like the same to me, right? And now that I'm looking at this, I don't know if the 5-star, I guess that's supposed to be the best 304? The one that just got their eyes and hopefully you bump into them? Why is not the 5-star? Which one is the best one that chooses? I don't see none of them choosing. But anyways, let's continue. These red pill pimps, they mad at 304s and they not even making no sense what they mad about. I'm confused. Ain't none of these 304s is choosing. But let's continue. So I'm gonna say 5 and 4 is the same. I don't know. Love your energy and vibes. I can see myself fucking with you. Hopefully we bumping each other. That's the same shit, right? Third one. 3-star 304. 4-star potential. Hey, I'm trying to see what you about. I'm very interested. Okay, so the 3-star seem like that should be the number one because she's actually saying she's interested so far, right? So that should go up ahead of a 5-star in my eyes if she's actually putting in some effort. See, they don't want to put no pressure on the females. That's what these blue pills and these red pills have in common. They are really trying to and this is trippy with the red pills because they be mad. So they should be thinking, like the quotes in the little video we just seen previously, he was kind of mad at these 304s. This red pill pimp is kind of like put him in categories, mad at the same time because ain't none of them choosing, obviously. They all playing with him, but they stars. So, I'm confused, but let's continue. 2-star, 304 with the 3-star potential. I know what I'm doing. I just need the right man to push me to reach my full potential. I seen what you did with others. Do that with me. Okay, this 304, she did her homework. She know about the pimp. She's saying she got the confidence herself. I'm just waiting on one of them to say to choose, but I don't see how she's going down in stars if she's showing interest. That's what I don't get. I don't get the 2-star and the 3-star. Those seem like ones that are taking it a little bit more serious because they're doing a little bit of homework on the pimp man, right? Like, that's just my thoughts. 1-star, 304. And to think that I was actually going to ever come out there and fuck with you is crazy. You should ask about me. Everyone knows I don't pay niggas. Even if I was selling, no way I'm that dumb to give all my money I make. Yeah. See, this one, the 1-star, that's not a 304. For sure, that should be a 1-star. But you being the pimp man, you ask yourself, what are you even doing conversing to it where it gets that far to where you even know, that sentence even be able to come out and you hear it. A pimp's ears hear that type of sentence. Like, she just said everybody knows. So how it wasn't pimping doing her homework to catch on to even, tolerate that sentence being in his ears? That's what I take on that. But this, this post right here explains a lot on how the red pills think, right? The categories of the 304s is all messed up in my eyes. I would put 2 as a 5-star, the 3-star as a 4-star. The love energy, and we'll bump into each other. I put that bump into each other at the 4, and then the energy, because she love your energy, I put that at number 3. You know what I mean? But this is how these red pill pimps think. And I see the good intentions on this too, right? This actually gets the 304's brains moving too, but it's just not moving the right way. I can see a 304 thinking and looking at this and being confused. Like, what is the object of this? Like, what are you really saying? None of these she's choosing. You get what I'm saying? So how are you reaching out to the 304, being the pimp man, and you can write all of this and ain't nothing sentence saying one of these, the 5-star 304 ain't choosing? You feel me? The 2-star did all the homework and she's not a 5-star. All she gotta do, all the 2-star gotta really do is say, I choose up, I got a fee. And she'll be a 5-star. Well, she'll be a 10-star, you know what I'm saying? 5-star, she sound good. Just do, the contents of the post. 10-star, with the pimp. Hey, man, you got everything. You got the confidence. You did your homework on me. You feel me? And you got the fee. Let's go. But yeah, every now and then, you'll catch these little red pill pimps and these blue pill pimps trying to combine and mix it and become like a purple pill pimp, right? And you will see a quote like this. So the red pill pimp, or I guess he's a purple pimp right now. Question, ladies, why don't I get chose, I think he means, when I show results, but y'all will go choose a man that hasn't accomplished nothing or did for no 304. And it's like, sometimes a pimp's accomplishments ain't the all to be all, right? If a pimp is so accomplished, why is pimp so worried about, females still choosing them? It's kind of like a contradiction in the quote itself, right? And then these is one of those quotes where, if somebody likes it, they'll write on it and then they'll repost it. So that's what's going on. And then on the bottom you have, because that means they will have expectations to actually better themselves as a woman, and that's a turnoff. So now you get like oil meeting fire type shit. Like, okay, he's asking a question. Is he concerned, or does he know the answer already and he's trying to get a ha-ha moment, right? To where if you genuinely want to know why these 304s ain't choosing an accomplished dude, and then another pimp comes and says this, and then you repost it, those females that you just asked that question are understanding like, okay, he's just looking for a ha-ha moment, instead of really truly trying to understand why females do not choose you when you're accomplished as a pimp. To where they might second guess that accomplishment pimp might didn't get so accomplished through being a pimp. Because if he's still looking and complaining on why he's not getting chose, then that's kind of like an oxymoron. I get it, man. These blue pills and red pills, they trying to get through. But like I said, they trying to get through using square tactics and using female tactics. This last post I'm gonna bring up, it's a post from, when you get on the internet and you post stuff and dudes got a problem with it, so they'll post it and asking a question. That's what this post is. So he gets this post and it says, y'all want a B so bad but can't afford the flight, fuck out of here. So the purple pill pimp posted it on his story in a question form, talking to the 16s. You 16s paying for a B's flight? Question mark. Then the purple pill pimp says, like B's coming with nothing or the B looking for a boyfriend. So I get it. In the purple pill's eyes, this is a teacher moment for that female that posted that, right? Look, let me post it and then ask questions so she gets an understanding. This is the catch with this post though. Right after the post, this same person that posts it, the purple pill pimp, starts posting females. So, in the pimp's mind, that looks like the equivalent of buying a female's flight. So you won't buy the flight for a female, but you will post these stranger females that you don't know, never sucked into your pocket. I don't know if you talk to them. I don't know the purpose of posting them, but that's what you're doing. But then when you see a female say, oh, y'all not buying me a flight out there, that's why I'm not fucking with y'all. Well, the reason probably why she's saying that is because she sees these blue pills, these red pills, these purple pills in this example, posting females on their page that ain't paying them. So they thinking, okay, well shoot, if they posting females that ain't paying them, why not pay for my flight out there if I'm gonna fuck with you? It's just an oxymoron. Again, you can't post females that ain't fucking with you and then expect females to not ask you to pay for their flight. I run into these posts and quotes all the time on, the Instagram social network. And I be on Instagram. I post quotes all the time too. And since I was criticizing other people's posts, the red pill pimps and the blue pill pimps, I would like to give it a comparison of how, in my mind, the pimping, if they want to do some post, will post. Because I do understand how the game is going, right? The pimping do see how the game is going and want to reach out to, the females to let them understand y'all need to sharpen up y'all game and reach out to the other P's and let them know they need to sharpen up their game. But at the same time, you want to do it in a pimpish way, right? So let's go back to the blue pill, right? And I found a quote on my page, the Bears and Bees page, that's a comparison towards like kind of the blue pill trying to get to the female's brain or letting her know how, the game goes, right? And this is the post that the Bears and the Bees page has. She found a hobby for when she's not hoeing that makes her happy. So, pimping is letting the bride know, like, look, there's other hobbies to actually enhance you wanting to be a better hoe, right? So you can always be sharpening your brain in different things, right? Whether it's reading, working out, drawing, going different places to where you can start communicating in different spaces, then bringing it back to your home. And so now when you run into these tricks, because they be in different spaces, you can be able to have better conversation within these tricks for them paying for your time, right? As for, the real hard blue pill pimp is just more like, oh, I want us to get rich and live life. Like, that's so fairy tale. It's like the pimping's gonna get it down, break it down, and let you actually understand and get a visual at the same time, right? And a pimp do get pushback from other P's, and I got pushback from this post, and I appreciate that. I like that. I like getting the brains moving. So yeah, man, the pimp believe this is more of like the charming approach to get through to the 304s, or to the females of the lifestyle, I should say. I gotta stop using that 304 term, but that leads me to my next quote. I was actually looking at this quote, so that's why I said it, which is, she dropped the term 304, because most who call themselves that don't have folks, which is kind of relating to the red pill quote or the red pill video that we watch, where the red pill pimp was sounding a little sad because the 304 was playing on his phone, right? To where you gotta subliminally tell them 304s about themselves, but actually give praise to the ones that's really in the game, right? You gotta use it in a pimpish way. You gotta put your pimp brain on. So the best way to think is like, okay, I'd rather praise the females that do have folks than bash the 304s that's playing on my line, right? Because them 304s that's playing on the line, they gonna see, and everybody wants to be praised, right? So pimping gotta kind of be creative with trying to use approaches, and like I said, the red pill pimps, the blue pill pimps, they trying, but they using square tactics, and they using female tactics. But yeah, the next post, that the Bears and the Bees, and notice the Bears and the Bees post tried to emphasize talking in the third person, because I believe if you just point the finger and play the blame game, you're not going to get nothing out of that but somebody trying to point their finger and defend themselves, right? I try to use the third person. This quote or this post says, for the pimping, right? For the pimping, she let go of those daddy issues and put on her grown woman tennis shoes. Meaning, the pimping realized that the female gonna come with the OBS and gonna come with the attitude and all that, because that's them daddy issues. But for the pimping, she let go of all of that to put on her grown woman tennis shoes. You get what I'm saying? To where, look, pimping gets exactly all of that. But to deal with the pimping, you gotta be, wise enough. You have to take that pressure to let all that go and put on these type of shoes to deal with this type of man, right? You gotta let go of whatever you got going on, putting the pressure on the female to challenge herself to let go whatever she has going on. Now, it's gonna be hard to find on the Bears and Bees of a comparison with the post that we seen when he had the 5-star, with the red pill pimp had the 5-star, 2 stars, and all of that. The best one that the Bears and the Bees that I could find was this one. She was intrigued with the pimping, speaking on different topics, that she started socking it to his pockets, right? To where, I don't gotta, pimping don't gotta put the girls in 5-star and make them feel like they're the prize and all of that. They can see how females are working and looking at things. Like, she was intrigued because pimping is talking about different things, and with her being intrigued with that, she wanted to choose him. If this female wants to choose to be in this lifestyle, that's the courage you gotta have. That's just, you gotta do your homework. Yeah, man, but I really think the game, the lifestyle's at a time where you have to dissect things like this, especially with the internet, right? That's why a lot of this YouTube stuff that I'm doing is from the internet, because the game, the lifestyle is heavy on the internet right now. And if you don't try to dissect it to understand that when choosing to be in this game, when choosing to be in the lifestyle, you can't merge it with what's happening in the square world. You can't merge it like that. And a lot of these dudes that's in the game, these red pill pimps, these blue pill pimps, they're trying to merge it. And it gets the female that's trying to be in the game confused. So that's why you have to dissect it. That's why I give these guys these titles and making this page. This is what Durable Minds is about, especially when, we're talking about the grassroots of the lifestyle. But yeah, man, and I hope the ones that's listening truly get an understanding of what I'm trying to put down. If y'all appreciate Durable Minds, I highly appreciate it if y'all hit the subscribe. And y'all already know, man, this is some game from the grassroots. I'll holla.
Keep the bullshit, I'll take all the money. How that sound? You can keep the bullshit, I'll take all the money. Yeah. You can keep the bullshit, I'll take all the money.
Illustrating the ism.
Whole lot of tank shit, man. The South, East here too, man. This shit slap like pimp pants. Hey. This shit slap like pimp pants.